about starting up a church plant in September. As Christians, there's like a Christian culture where, first of all, when it comes to saving faith, we think that saving faith is just intellectually I need to believe that Jesus is God. And as Art was just explaining in the last sermon, even the demons believe what is real saving belief. And so because of that belief of what it means to be saved, just have this intellectual understanding of who God is, then the church has this idea that everyone needs to think the same. And if they all have to think the same, they have to act the same. And God's not into making clones. And we're all, the foundations of what it means to be a Christian and what it means to love God. That is rock solid in the Bible. That's not up for debate. But as Christians, we have different angles of certain doctrines and theologies, and that shouldn't split us up. We are going to be doing a church plant, and it's going to be unifying to any of those Christians that are fired up for Jesus and serious about Jesus. And when you're fired about Jesus and serious about Jesus, you go out and do the work of an evangelist and fulfill your ministry. You accept Paul's charge on you that you go preach the word and rebuke and admonish and urge them and compel them to come to the kingdom. When you're serious and fired up about Jesus, you obey Jesus' commands by going out and whispering everything you hear in the darkness from him and shouting on the rooftops. And when you go out and do ministry, you might make some mistakes. There might be some slip-ups. But if you're serious and fired up about Jesus, we want you with us. And there should be unity in the Spirit, like that song. We are one in the Spirit. We hear so much about grace, love. And the second someone comes here and they're a little offended or they disagree with something, they gone. If I love you, if I say I love you, man, I love you. You deserve grace. I pray for you. And it's just words, then it's just words. It's like just words without action is dead. Faith without action is dead. Prayer without action is dead. Whoever wants to save their life must come to Jesus, and you'll find your life. I was just hanging out with some people yesterday. Won't say who they are, but they've built what the world would seem to appear as they would think that it's a wonderful life. But deep down, it's like, deep down, when you know them well, you know that man, that woman, they've lost their life. They lost their life. They tried to live just for this world. And who they are as a person and what their life looking back was really about, in the end, they lost it. They totally lost it. There's two ways to lose your life. You could have a nice house and a nice car, and at the end of your age, you're just sitting in your chair playing the poker game on the little thing and watching television, and you do that as you're retired, and you just collect seashells on the shore and you've lost your life. You're about to die and enter the kingdom of heaven, and looking back, your life was just about you. That's not what it was meant to be about. Didn't you have something bigger in your heart? And then the other way to lose your life, it's kind of similar, but like all these guys in the street, listen up. I'll say people from a long time ago, so it's not too personal. But Julie overdosed, vegetable. Cindy froze to death on her balcony. Like the list goes on and on. Marcy, beaten to death in a chair at a party. There's this one guy that we're working with, and he was telling me this place, and they finally got him an apartment. He's actually staying in the shelter now. What happened? You got an apartment. Oh, well, that's because when he walked in, his roommate was getting tortured for crack money. He was tied to a chair, and they had like construction tools or something like that, and they're torturing him for crack money. And those demons, those devils, man, they looked at him, and he sits there stunned with the door open, and fear comes over him. And this is a tough dude, like one of the toughest. And fear comes over him, and they look at him and say, "You in or you out?" And he just shut the door and left. Didn't phone the cops, too scared. Didn't do anything to help this man, too scared. And he's staying back in the shelters. And the point is that if you're playing with the devil, you're giving him authority in your life. Just like the church, they're compromising and letting the devil slip in. You're giving the devil authority in your nation. Now stand up against the devil. So the Bible calls us to present our bodies as a living sacrifice, to go all in for Jesus. He says, if you put your hands to the plow, Christian, and those on the streets who've tried out Jesus, and there is some faith there, Well, if you put your hand to the plow and you look back, you're not even worthy for the kingdom of God. Jesus, it's loving for Jesus to say the standard is high. Press on towards that goal. Don't think, I'm in. The pastor say, you're in. Say, no, challenge it. Test yourself. Examine yourself to see if you're in the faith. When you put your hand to the plow, get your hands back on the plow and work the Father's vineyard. There's 2 sons. One says, I'll go work your vineyard for you. I'll go work the field for you, Father. And he didn't. And the other son said, I won't go work. And then he regretted it. I won't go work. And maybe he's one of you. He won't go stand for God. He won't go live for Jesus. Won't go live for the Lord. And he says, I won't live for you, God. But then he regretted it, and he went and worked the Father's vineyard. And Jesus asked, who did the will of the Father? Many will say, Lord, Lord, on that day, and they will not know Jesus. Jesus will say, I never knew you. It's only those who do the will of the Father, because saving belief will cause you, compel you, inspire you into action. So a question I have for those on the street, how many people come and, Jesus. There's something there. But 5 years later, they're still in that struggle. More scars, more brokenness, more surgeries, more addictions. Take that something you have for Jesus and decide, are you in or are you out? And the Christians in the church that we call to this cave of Abdullah, which is not going to be just any other church. It'd be a training ground to build up mighty men, the misfits, the troublemakers, those who want to live passionately for Jesus and not be suppressed and disarmed as a Christian, but want to stand for Jesus because they love him and they're thankful for what they did for him. And I asked the Christians, are you in or are you out? Are you in or are you out? Are you all in or you're out? Jesus wants you all in. That's saving faith. That's going to save your life. Get right with Jesus. Get all in for Jesus. There's nothing better. Make the most of this opportunity on earth. Are you in or are you out?